Two more women coming forward to accuse Joe Biden of inappropriate touching. And now President Trump cracking a joke about the allegations as Biden mulls a run for the White House.
It looks like the only non-sort of heavy socialist, he's being taken care of pretty well by the socialists. They got to. Our former vice president, I was going to call him, I don't know him well, I was going to say, welcome to the world, Joe. You having a good time, Joe?
Colin Reed is VP of Definers Public Affairs, and Ty Mastorf is Senior VP of the Messina Group. Great to have you both here. Colin, you wrote a piece today for FoxNews.com, which everybody can go and read, but about Joe Biden. Where do you think he sits right now?
Well, I think he's probably glad he's not going to get judged with the rest of the crew in terms of his financial health. We'll see all these fundraising reports from Q1 coming out. But at the same time, because he doesn't have a campaign, he's got no one to defend him right now and deal with some of these rapid response crises as they arise. And I think the response, whatever you think of the allegations, how he's handled it has been very slow. It's been very old. It's been very 2005. Written statements. There's been no one out there defending him, save a handful of surrogates. And I think the world is waiting to hear from Joe Biden himself. But he doesn't have a campaign around him to provide support.
And Ty, his polling has been pretty consistently good despite all of this. But in this past week, do you think that he could take a hit?
I think that it's probably a pause in time. Once he gets in, once he starts to define the campaign, he's going to have to address this. I agree with Colin. He's going to have to come out and address it. But I don't think that this is something that will define sort of the next year of campaigning should he decide to get in.
One of his possible opponents in the Democratic primary, Beto O'Rourke, had a chance to talk about this last night. Watch this.
I think we need to listen to those who are raising their stories, who have the courage to come forward, to share their experience. And I think ultimately that's going to be a decision for him to make. But I'm glad that people are willing to and have the courage to step up. They must be heard and listened to.
And Ty, listen to this. This is a New York Post op-ed that says, going into 2020, gropey Uncle Joe was always going to be a problem for the Dems. That Joe Biden himself doesn't see that. Tells us all we need to know. Here's the thing. We are no longer willing to define deviancy down. The record number of women elected to Congress in 2018 was a direct response to this kind of dismissive, ridiculous argument. So I'm wondering if you think that this is kind of a gift. There was this report that the Biden team thinks that the Bernie Sanders team put this hit out on them. Bernie team saying that's not true. But it does look like somebody did it.
Yeah, and when you're arguing about the process of how the hit began, most people kind of tune out. I think what you saw from Beto O'Rourke and most of the other 2020 field is no lifelines. They were very happy to watch the former VP kind of drown out politically.
Elizabeth Warren especially.
Oh yeah, and why not? Because if your biggest potential challenger is on the ropes, why help him out? The people who have defended him have been people like Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi, voices of the past, and that might be Biden's crew, but it's not going to decide.
Super interesting. A voice of the present is Donald Trump, and last night he was also talking about the Green New Deal. His thoughts on running against it. Watch this.
It's the craziest thing. They believe it. And we will have to do something. But don't do it too early, please. Don't kill it. Because we want to be able to run against it. If they beat me with the Green New Deal, I deserve to lose. So.
Good line. But Ty, I wonder if you think that Republicans, are we missing anything about on this whole Green New Deal thing?
Well, I think that what a lot of Republicans are missing is that climate change is real, and it's an important issue that resonates with voters. I think that the Republican Party, even going back to Mitt Romney in 2012, has sort of dismissed climate change, not realizing that for millennial voters, younger voters, what an important issue it is. So I think that I think that what a lot of Republicans, it's easy to demonize it and try and make fun. Yeah, but what they don't realize is that when the Midwest is flooding, when California is burning, people realize that climate change is real, and if it looks like you say it's not and you're burying your head in the sand, I think that is worse than any solution that they might try and demonize the Democrats are putting forward.
Do you think Republicans are smart to try to show what the Green New Deal, when AOC and Markey put it out there, it wasn't just about climate change, it was about all sorts of things, including job guarantees.
Yeah, the Green New Deal was a godsend for the Republican Party. Ty's right, the Republicans need to sharpen their messaging on climate change, but right now they don't have to, because this Green New Deal is occupying all of the news oxygen and it's dominating everything. And the Republicans...
But he doesn't want to snuff it out. He wants them to keep talking about the Green New Deal.
Exactly.
Right.
Creates good television ads for Democrats to go on record supporting it.
Oh, and a lot of them did.
Right.
All right. Colin Reed and Ty Mastroff, great to have you in studio today. Thank you.